Hey everybody, welcome back to We Live for Saturdays. I was going to start off very somber, but I felt like I got to come out with some energy. How are we doing tonight, boys?
Somber.
Yeah, these are desperate times right now in the college football world. It's tough out here.
It's tough without a coach. Look
Just
look at
and a
our
quarterback.
podcast 3 weeks ago and look at us now.
I know. We need to post the YouTube before and after. We're just broken men at this point.
Well, I mean, are we broken or are we just looking
We're,
upwards?
we're ready to be fixed.
Ready to be fixed is a good
We
term.
have never been closer to a national championship than now,
Well,
other than when we won them.
right now we're like 38 years removed, so I don't know. Kind of. Are we closer?
All right,
If we
let's
win one in
start
the
it.
next 38 years, we're good, yeah.
Obviously, what we're talking about is the huge news, the biggest news of sports, I would say. Wouldn't you guys agree? The firing of James Franklin. I didn't mean to steal Sam's host duties there, but I think it
It'd be
was
very
pretty
alarming if somebody tuned into
jarring.
this podcast specifically and was like, I wonder what they're going to start with.
Yeah, exactly. But jarring. I mean, it's one of those things. I think everybody, and also let's commit. Let's not spend an inordinate amount of time on this, because we could talk for hours on this. Personally, me being up all hours of the night at random times with the new member of the family. I know Mike and Sam, I've had long conversations with you, so I'll try to keep my thoughts short at least. But my personal thoughts here is it's sad. I think I think it had to be done. It was due, especially after Oregon's game. And then these last 2 weeks have sort of spurred it on and gave administration an excuse to do it and really more urgency to do it. But it is sad. I mean, this guy took over the program 12 years ago with it in shambles, really. I think the one thing that I wanted to make sure I got in the episode tonight, in his opening press conference, they asked him what would success be as in his tenure, and he said, I want to leave the program better than I found it and raise essentially raise these kids to be men and run the program the right way. And I think nobody can argue that he accomplished both of those things, and I think I'm very grateful, and a lot of Nittany Nation should be.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a handful, but I really haven't run across like a Penn State account that, like, while he was still here, they're like, oh, get him out. But now that he's gone, it's all nothing but love. It is a shame. However, I am happy we did it now and didn't wait until the end of the year. From a
Rip the Band-Aid off.
From a planning perspective, from an everything perspective, it just gets all our ducks in a row, and I think it is telling that out of all of the good faith that I don't want to say we've given him, but like I think on his exit interview or when the meeting actually happened, I bet he did have a say in his successor or an interim coach, and I think it is telling that usually it is one of the coordinators that steps up as the head coach. This time, it is not. None of the coordinators. I'd be shocked if one, if not both of them, are gone.
I was going to say they need to go
come season. And that's also, I think that's one of the biggest gripes. He's had good hires, but they've left very quickly after the fact. But a lot of the times when we've had Zerkic or whatever the dude's name is,
Yurchich.
Yeah, Yurchich. Just a lot of like big splash hires at the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and like a lot of them just don't pan. And I don't know if that's Franklin's doing, if that's their own doing. I don't know what it is, but yeah, nothing but love for Franklin. Maybe we'll still see him at the Lake House a couple houses down, but
he has more time.
Yeah, I'm definitely thankful, but I'm excited for the future. I am apprehensive about the hire as well, but we can talk about prospects there. But more retrospectively, Maku, any other thoughts from your end?
No, I think you guys said it very well, and I fully agree. I think it's honestly, and it's it's very weird to say, but in these sports fan emotions, it's essentially a long term relationship that you're just freshly out of. Like in the moment, I swear, Saturday night, I know we were all going back and forth in the group chat and everything. I was like, I hate him. I'm so done with him. He's the worst. Get him away from my team. Like, never want to see him again. And then the next morning or next afternoon, I guess, was it Sunday or Monday that they actually made it?
Sunday.
So yeah, Sunday the news came through. Like, and that's how you know it was big, because Scott Hansen made a point on Red Zone that has nothing to do with college, and they make a point not to address college. Said, hey, Penn State fired their coach, FYI. So that's how you know it's national news. But to that point, no, by the time the news was official, it's like, wow, that's pretty wild. Like, I can't believe it's actually, come out this way. Like, you get a ton of emotions from going through the games and the ups and downs and whatever happened. But at the end of the day, he was our guy for 12 years, came in at the worst possible time. And like you said, built the program up to where it is today. And, credit where credit's due. He got us 95 point, for 99% of the way there, but we just know that last 5% is not going to happen. I think it's half greed from our team and from our institution saying, hey, we demand that last 5%. But on the other hand, too, we've been through the same exact song and dance and circus every single time, to the point where it was like, all right, every single year you can circle a game on the calendar. We just can't win because he's our guy. And I don't know if that's, a lack of coaching aptitude. He's obviously a hell of a leader of men and, molder of young guys to bring him into, adulthood as successful humans. Like, he had outpouring of support. So I think we, after the initial raw emotions of you just lost to Northwestern, and I hated, in retrospect, it's a sad sight seeing him get booed off the field.
But with his daughter there and everything, right. That was ugly.
But again, he saw it coming. He knew it was coming. Yeah. Like everybody, it was a foregone conclusion at that point. And that's kind of what we said. I think the second Northwestern went up by a touchdown, we're like, you know what, guys, if we lose this, he's gone. So, like, we don't really have anything to worry about.
He probably knew that too.
Exactly. And again, tough game. I mean, I did want to bring up, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Fire Franklin Matrix, I like to call it. Obviously, you lose those 3 games in a row, he's canned. That's exactly what happened. But if he beat Oregon in overtime, like Bauer pulls it off and, doesn't throw the pick, but then say we still lose to UCLA and Northwestern, is he still fired? I think that's a question that deserves to be asked. Because we probably fall out of the rankings still, but is it like you're an abject failure because you just got the biggest win, but then you fall flat against these two?
I don't think he is
if you lose to Oregon, but you win those next 2, I don't think he's in any worse shape either.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he is fired in that scenario. Kind of like checked one off of like the big game win conversation. And it also,
you got the big one. We'll let these slide, but you can't lose the big one in such a fashion and then lose your team and all that.
Right. That's what led to it.
And the AD essentially in the press conference said the decision was made after the Oregon loss. Like, it was when that happened. So I think there was a lot of bearing on that.
Kicked the wheels in motion, but I still think, like, if we dominated UCLA, dominated Northwestern, and then we go on and we battle Ohio State, win or lose, we take care of the rest of this. We finish 10-2. He's still around, obviously.
Oh, right. Yeah, and he would have made the playoffs. We would have had a replay of last year and lost the big game in the playoffs, and then you fire him. But so essentially, we rip the Band-Aid off now.
Thinking forward,
yeah,
I absolutely loved the first 24 hours of the hypotheses and the hey, this coach can come, this coach is interested, or we're interested in them. But now it is all people are talking about for the last 48 hours, and I just want a short list. I just want to know what to expect in terms of who is realistic at the end of the day. And I know there's a lot of names being thrown around. I think what would be fitting here is 3 names: dream hire, or best hire, worst hire, or who you definitely don't want, and then a dark horse that might have not been a head coach before, might not have proven himself, whatever it is. So 3 names is what I
I
would.
think we all have to give 3 separate answers.
Okay.
So
you want to go?
Okay.
I like that. So
So
3
So we're
names.
not just going to all agree on the same names. But Chris, you go first.
All right. Dream hire, and this can be as realistic as or not, right?
Or even not.
Or what?
Yeah.
All right.
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban.
Bear Bryant.
Nick Saban is the dream. That's the dream. Then what are
That's
the
good.
other 2?
Like worst nightmare, or like who
Yeah.
you don't want, and then like a dark horse.
All right. Well, I'll just go. I mean, okay. It'll be interesting to see y'all's answer. I don't want Matt Rule. I think it's just a little dry. I think, yes, he's a good fit, but I mean, look at it. $50 million, uprooting all of your alumni, your former Letterman support. Everybody loves Franklin. He gets you 10-2 every year. You want to make sure you don't drop down to Nebraska level and 6-6. And it's funny, at least in our family, we've talked about Nebraska as an example of returning to mediocrity. It's just a coincidence that Rule is now at Nebraska, but ever since they got rid of Pelini and all those, like, they haven't had anything. We do run that risk here of risking all of this to be the top 0.1% of it, and then getting back down to 7-5, 8-4 territory if we don't handle this new age well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Matt Rule, I think he's a good coach, but is he worth all of this effort? In my opinion, no. And then, I don't want to take up too much time. There's 2 names that I had, but for this last dark horse that I would really like, but I'm going to go Fran Brown from Syracuse.
I like it.
I love him. He does rub people the wrong way a little bit, I think. He's very intense, but we've talked about sort of his academic standards and how he develops his guys at Syracuse, doing more with less. Young, up-and-coming guy. I don't know. I think he is a leader of men as well and trending in the right direction. I like him.
No, those are all very, very good. I couldn't agree more on specifically that Rule. I was going to say the exact same thing. He's a white James Franklin. He's had a ton of.
He's worse.
He is worse.
Started small school, got to big name jobs. He tried his little NFL experiment, which failed miserably. Whatever, we can let that be. And I mean, he is having success at Nebraska, but again, that success at Nebraska these days, like we just said, is now back to like 9-3. So,
can I say one more thing on that?
Please.
I'm so sick of hearing like, oh, he's a great fit. He knows the culture. He's a Penn State Letterman. All of that is out the door now. I mean, we're clearly talking about wins and losses and national championships. So I don't really I don't really get the whole loyalty aspect here when all of the guys that, the Joe Paterno, all of that doesn't matter now. I mean, because we have been more successful than we've been since the 80s, and that's not good enough. So I don't want to sacrifice somebody, I don't want Urban Meyer win at all costs and, who knows what clown show comes with him. But I also don't want to go in the other round and just sort of let's go with somebody familiar just because. I mean, that's so sorry.
Yeah, just because you lived in East Halls and had, teas at cafe after class does not mean you were right next in line.
He knows the big onion.
And based on press conferences, Pat Kraft seems to align with that. Like, he seems to understand the goal, but we will see.
Yeah, no, I would say for mine, the absolute dream. I mean, it goes without saying. I think everybody has hypothesized it, but it's Curt Cignetti only because, and again, right now as the Indiana coach, he's a thorn in our side. Like, we haven't played him. We didn't play him last year, but he does seem like kind of a arrogant coach and kind of a jerk.
Sam loves him.
But again, if he's your arrogant jerk and you're, amazing coach, then you're absolutely loving and riding with it. So the success of turning around
the Brad Marchand approach here from the Boston guy.
I know, right? Exactly. He's your guy. He's your rat. And yeah, no, same thing. But yeah, I mean, if he's on your team, he has the best proven track record. It's also hard to say because like he's only like Indiana's kind of lightning in a bottle for him, maybe. And if he doesn't immediately bring us to like the promised land, is it like, oh, your magic has run out? That's the only risk you run with him, I guess. But no, I believe in him as a coach, and I think obviously he's got a system that works right now. Who I do not want, I would fully agree with the Matt Rule, just because again, he's not an upgrade at all, and you can't spend the money to do that. Another name that I would just hate to see, I saw floating around, somebody's flying to the top of the betting odds, Joe Brady, our old like GA, who then was Joe Burrow's like passing game coordinator, which put him on the map. And then he's been an OC like at the NFL, and now he's I think is he still with the Bills?
Yeah,
Yes, he was my second name for dark horse, actually.
I mean, that's fair. If he ends up here, that's cool. But it's the same sort of thing. Just because he has a Penn State connection, just because he worked here, and yeah, started his career here. Like, I don't fully believe like he's the guy to run this big time of a program. Like, if he gets hired at a small school, like not small, but a middle. If he got like the Oklahoma State job, again, not a small school, but like a couple steps below, good for him. I'm rooting for him. But I just don't see him stepping right into the Penn State shoes. And then dark horse that I would firmly believe in and want things to go very well, Dan Mullen. He's back in the national spotlight a little bit. He's running the show over at, I think it's UNLV.
Yeah,
I think that's where he is.
Pennsylvania native.
I know. Well, that's the thing. He's not
So
exactly a
Kurt
Penn
Signetti.
Stater, but he's
So is Matt Rule.
exactly. He's a Pennsylvania guy. He's had very
So is
high level
James
success.
Franklin.
He was the guy bringing Mississippi State to the number one rankings back in with the Dak Prescott days. And then I don't think he really got a fair shake at Florida either. So I think he just inherited a bad team, didn't dominate, and they were like, all right, you're out. Did media for a couple of years, now showing he still has it at UNLV. So he's a guy that I would be pleased with. He wouldn't be the cream of the crop, but he's somebody that I would be like, yes, sign me up.
All right. Dream. I don't even know if he's on the market, but Lane Kiffin.
I love Lane Kiffin. I think everybody loves Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
But, like, that's who we need. Like, that's who we need, I think, from a
Lane Kiffin is the Jameis Winston of coaching. He's highly entertaining, win or lose. He's going to put up numbers. He's going to put up points. But he's also going to give you the biggest headache of all time.
Yeah.
His tweak game.
But then off the field, he's the most entertaining human. So,
he'll never leave the SEC. But yeah, I think Lane is the first one that came to mind. Who I don't want, and I really like him, but there's a lot of Manny Diaz talk. I don't want Manny Diaz. We need a more offensive mind, one.
He has great hair.
He does. Head coach experience at Miami did not go great. He's doing well at Duke, but I just don't think that that's the right time for that. If he wants to come back as a D coordinator, please. But yeah, that's the one there. And then dark horse. I'm between. See, I don't know if these are technically dark horses though. I'll go my dark horse. Does Eli Drinkwitz count?
The end of the year, we're just like, hey, try it again.
He wore a Penn State shirt in his yearbook photos one time.
Oh,
I saw that.
Yeah, I think Eli's up there.
Bring Bo home.
Yeah, I think because I'm also intrigued about the Matt Campbell talk too. But I don't know.
Isn't he a defensive guy though?
Yeah, and like I don't know if there's really like the level isn't there either. So I don't know. But yeah,
he's had like two good same sort of thing, like dynamic years where he had the perfect team, but like all the years in between, and those years are like 6 years apart. So
right,
I don't think he has like the consistency that you're looking for. But again, I feel like our whole dialogue here is sounding like we need and we require the best guy. I mean, whoever we get, I'm going to support. It's just there's obviously tiers of people that we're going to either fervently be behind or we're going to be like, that's it. That's all you got. So
It should be interesting, though. And we were at 20 minutes of Penn State talk, just FYI.
Hey, we're
that's
done
what
now.
people are signing up for.
Oh, we are? All right.
Yeah, we're done now.
People know what they're getting into, you know.
Exactly. Week 7, before we go into a couple of the coming week's games, I feel like we don't even need to talk about our game. Indiana's win was very impressive at Oregon. I think that was one of the bigger stories of the week if we want to just ignore us. They definitely... I think last year's Indiana team was very offense, and the defense this year has been almost more impressive than the offense this year. Doing things, or I guess slowing down Dante Moore to the point that, like, multiple interceptions, everything, where our defense, they kind of just plugged along throughout the game. So really impressive win. Like they controlled the game. They did really well.
Yeah,
they really did.
I mean, again, same thing. Credit to Cignetti. I thought the game was over when they had such a pivotal play with the pick six. For Oregon to get right back into it. They were, trailing for the majority, came right back down. And Oregon also had a pretty wide open touchdown, too, that was just like a blown coverage or something. So Indiana was far and away the more complete, soundly run team. Aside from those 2 mistakes, they were pretty dominant. And again, everybody was kind of singing Oregon's praises and Dan Lanning's praises. I don't know. It's I kind of wanted Oregon to win. They're still a loss on our schedule, and you're like, all right, you better win out and make us. Doesn't matter anymore now, but I'm terrified for Indiana coming into Happy Valley. That's going to be a bloodbath at this point.
Sure
the next
is.
3 games will be, yeah.
Hey, we got the Grunk.
Imagine he's just elite. He's just the greatest.
He did get one
crushed.
play.
The first play, yeah.
All right, sorry.
Welcome to college football. Try to get 3 yards on the ground.
I know.
I wanted to call out Texas Tech continues to just...
They're incredible. I'm a big Texas Tech fan this year.
Yeah. Offensive and defensive player of the week, Cameron Dickey, 260 yards rushing. I think he had like 8 carries of 10-plus yards. So they're dominating the ground on offense. And then on the defensive side, David Bailey, 3 sacks, 40% pass rush win rate. And I think the average is like 15-20%. So he is just a menace. So that team is scary. Yeah, I'm very, very intrigued about that. Then Ohio State.
Taking care of biz.
Yeah. Very consistent. I think I saw his like adjusted completion percentages this year is like 87% or something. He's just very safe, very consistent on that side of the ball. And then
who's 87%?
Saying.
He deserves some Heisman talk. That's all I'm saying.
He does. And then
Jeremiah Smith is a cheat code.
He is. Who
they look
isn't?
Good. I mean,
who isn't a cheat code? At least as much as last year as Ryan Williams. He's been a lot quieter this year.
He was only good at 17 years old.
That's all.
Everyone made such a big deal. He's like, he's only 17. He's the greatest freshman ever.
He's 18 and he stinks.
Yeah. No, very good point. I think we called it last week. We were like, Illinois, they're running into the same sort of buzzsaw that they ran into against Indiana and did it against Ohio State. Same thing. Ohio State just kind of wore them down and put up points when they needed to. A team that I don't think we've talked about at all, but kind of deserves some praise because they're undefeated and look like a legit national contender. What are you saying, Sam?
Washington?
No, no. Texas
Well,
A&M.
I said it before national title contender.
Okay,
No.
I was going to say, didn't they get killed by? I mean, they didn't play very well. Again, it's Ohio
A&M.
State, so I don't blame them. But A&M looks legit.
I feel like no one's talking about them either.
I feel like because we're so tired of them. They're always in the exact same boat. They're always like relevant, and then they finish 8-4 or 9-3. Kind of, similar to our natural, progression, how it goes. And
Yeah, I was going to say.
it's always like, preseason hype. They can be great, and then they inevitably lose an early
They
game.
actually
Fall off later.
They actually have a pretty favorable schedule as far as SEC terms go. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
At Arkansas, at LSU, at Missouri, 3 straight road games. Interesting. Home against South Carolina, Samford, and then Texas. They could be. Yeah, they
Texas
have really good
clearly
odds
beat
of
them.
making the playoffs. Michigan got worked.
They did, and I was very much in favor of Michigan going into that game. I thought they had all the tools to slow down USC and make it a little bit of a slower battle, and they just let it unravel pretty quickly. But again, Underwood's still a freshman. He's still kind of, figuring things out. Can't expect him to go undefeated.
Is he 17?
Probably pretty close. I think he's 18.
I think I saw something. I don't know if it was a meme account or not, but is it true that he's on pace for 10 passing touchdowns this year?
Probably. I think he has like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And he's been starting the whole year, right? They didn't start anybody else. Yeah. There were no big surprise games. I mean, aside from
Texas.
Texas crushed Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I feel like people saw that coming. Wasn't Texas favored? Which is like the first time.
It was like a toss up or something. Yeah, it was close.
But going into that game, seeing the number 6 team not, playing a neutral site game and getting points versus an unranked team is shocking.
UCLA is looking like a real team.
See, that's going back to the Franklin Matrix. Like if we lost to them and then beat Northwestern handedly, if we won by 20, I think he's hot seat for sure, but he's still clinging on. The fact that we lost killed him. Because again, UCLA may end up going 8-4 and making a great bowl game.
Wisconsin has probably the worst offense we've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, getting shut out by Iowa's bad.
They average 6 points a game.
That's disgusting.
That's very bad.
They average 6.
They may have a response.
Definitely. I don't have any more D1 call-outs. I do have a shout-out for D2.
Please.
Ferris State. Last 3 weeks, they've won 76-0, 66-0, 59-0 in the last 3 weeks. So far this year, they've outscored opponents 350-40. So they are just rolling through D2. So if there's a future out there.
One of my favorite accounts, and I would.
Where is Ferris State, and what's their team name, Chris?
Isn't it like
Ferris
some
State
Bulldog or something?
Yes, Ferris State Bulldogs in Michigan.
Oh, Big Rapids.
I had no idea. Michigan. I would have guessed like Oklahoma. Are they named after the guy that invented the wheel? Chris took a minute.
That's a perfect tweet.
I'm trying to find.
They very well may be. Like, why is that guy famous? First of all,
there's this one account. There's this one account that ranks all college football teams, 766 teams, and they do power rankings. But regardless, I'd love to see. I can't find it right now. I'd love to see where Ferris State ranks because like UMass is way down there. There's D2 schools and FCS schools higher than them.
Confirmed it is not the inventor of the Ferris wheel. It is named after Woodbridge Nathan Ferris, a U.S. senator.
Probably and 28th governor of Michigan. I bet he's related to the wheel guy, though.
There's
Yeah,
not
what are
many
the
out
odds?
there.
Everybody in the 1800s, if you have the same name, you're somehow related.
Oh, cool.
George Washington Gale Ferris in 1893 at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. He was a civil engineer, invented the Ferris wheel.
Exactly.
Sure, that's
Imagine going up in that the first time. No.
I mean, imagine going on it now.
You don't like it now?
No, some of them are sketchy.
It carried
do.
1.4 million people in its first fair.
That Chicago Fair was impressive. I'm pretty sure that's where, like,
The Hindenburg was built or something.
well, that and like electricity and all that stuff. So
What?
yeah, like they had like I don't know. That we're getting off
Yeah, the
track.
fair had electricity.
Cool. Want to move towards week 8?
Oh, last thing, Oklahoma State. They just a quick, why we love college football. They're awful on the field, but did you guys see the fans?
Sure did.
Just guys being dudes,
So when I saw all the images come out, I was like, oh, like did they do like some sort of like, section of the game, like you guys all do this, or like we'll give away shirts and they all just like wait a minute. No, it started with one dude just like, yeah,
Took his shirt
then,
off.
like 3 dudes ran up like, we're gonna go help out that guy over there. Just joined on, and then by the end of it, I mean that's just the epitome of guys being dudes and just our team's going nowhere, we're going nowhere, we're here, probably hammered, let's have a good time. And yeah, got like probably 2,000 of them at the end of the game.
Love it.
I think that's a catch on. I think they'll be doing that for the rest of the season, probably.
Definitely. I mean, they got to do something.
Oh, got to do something.
All right, week 8. Couple exciting games. Couple high scoring games, at least what we're expecting here. Want to start off with Tennessee, Alabama. I think that's probably one of the bigger ones of the weekend. Alabama's 7.5 point favorites. Total is 59.5. Who feels confident on this one? They want to kick us off.
Chris does. He was just telling me how confident he is.
I'm not confident. To be honest, I don't know what you were talking about.
You're losing sleep, buddy. Tennessee and Alabama, the 3rd Saturday in October.
Oh, that's right. Go Vols.
All right, Chris locks in Tennessee 8.5. Give it to him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I agree with Chris and his well thought out rationale.
Go off, King.
I think Alabama's. Remember how like quick we were, and hand up, I was probably the first to say it. Like Kalen DeBoer's on the hot seat already. He's the worst coach ever. Alabama made a mistake. Look at how dumb we sounded a month ago.
I know. Franklin's gone.
Now, I will say Alabama's in a very weird position where they are getting better and better every week, but that loss to Florida State also gets worse and worse looking. Because Florida State has not played that well against anybody since then.
They're 0-3 in conference as well.
Yeah, and they keep losing games that they should probably be winning. So, difficult. And now Mike Norvell's right back on the hot seat. He kind of survived his mulligan year last year, but you beat Alabama, everybody's like, you're the man, let's build a statue. A month later, he's right back where he started. So that's a story for another time. But anyway, Bama keeps getting better. I think they are going to come a little bit back down to earth. I think Tennessee is going to be ready for them. It's at Alabama, which I don't fully like, but I like 8.5 points. I think it'll be a strong back and forth. Probably go over as well. I could see both teams scoring 30.
I agree. I like 35-31 is what I'm feeling on this one.
What did the analytics say?
Oh, I'm off that.
People were waiting on your.
Sam lost on one bet. He's like, screw these numbers.
Yeah. However, I mean they are pretty spot on to Vegas. So just call me a sharp. But maybe that's the problem. They're too sharp.
My numbers are too good. I'm losing.
It's not my fault. It's the industry's fault.
Yeah,
That's why Vegas has 100 glitz and glamorous casinos all built up on the strip. Not doing
Yep.
it from paying out winning bets.
right, exactly.
Yes.
Ty Simpson, explosive passing game. Tennessee, explosive, fast-paced run game. Those are their strengths. I see points. I think Tennessee can keep it within. So I think plus 7.5 is the best one. But maybe like a little teaser action, like plus 10.5 over like 54 or something would be like a good balance.
Now you're speaking my language.
Little cheesy. Cool. What's next? We got USC Notre Dame. Is that one we want to touch base
That's a
Classic.
good one.
Classic matchup. Kind of surprised USC is getting so many points. They come off a very good,
What is it?
very sound win. I have 8.5 here.
on?
But again, I sent this out yesterday, so it could have changed. But USC getting that many points, even though they're going to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's environment never really scares me. Like, I get that it's home field advantage, but it's never like, oh my god, this is incredible. Like, I don't know how a team comes in and wins. A&M did it earlier this year, right? Wasn't that an away game for them?
Yep.
Again, USC's not A&M by any stretch, but I do like how good they looked last week. I think Michigan was a strong challenge for them, and they stood up to it. I think Notre Dame's also been riding pretty high ever since that like Arkansas dominant win, and I think they'll fall back down to earth a little bit. So I don't know. I don't particularly care for either team this year, but I do think USC showed me a little bit more just recency bias. So I'll take that.
I'm just confused by the total. I wouldn't have expected it to be 61.5. And for that reason, I don't really like, it's calling into question my read of the game, honestly. So
The numbers
I
are
think
scary.
that kind of does, yeah, numbers are scary. That kind of does play into, I think that kind of supports you with the 8.5 more points. USC does have a pretty good offense there. They got a really good pass game with Lemon at receiver. I really like him. I could see that. I don't know if I want to include it in the pod though, because it's 8.5 for a reason. So I'm not sure. And they're not the Vols, so
Very true.
They're not the Vols, correct.
Yeah.
I'm almost going to predict like the same score as the last game. I think it's like a 34-30. Notre Dame, I think, still wins at home, but USC is going to put up some points. I'm curious what their team total is with that spread. If it's like below 27.
You know what this sounds like? What we nailed last week in the Oregon-Indiana game. Both teams scored 20.
That's true. And
That
maybe
seems
even on the
very
other
strong.
one, the last game too.
All right, put that down.
Put that down.
Write that down.
Yeah, I think USC is going to move the ball. Notre Dame has like a pass, like their secondary is like above like 100th in the country, outside the top 100. So I think they're going to move the ball effectively there. So yeah, I like that. Cool.
Do it up. Should we
So
stay in the SEC? I feel like these are all SEC. Or this wasn't it. We started Tennessee, Alabama. Obviously, USC, Notre Dame's not. But staying in the SEC, Ole Miss, Georgia is a very intriguing game on paper. Top 10 matchup. And Ole Miss did not look good last week.
Did you hear Lane
If I could
Kiffin?
say
I don't
that.
know. I don't know how they got on this topic, but one reporter asked, I think it's because of their antics on the sideline. Who burns more calories in a game? And Lane goes, "Well, I just watched Kirby's press conference. I don't think he's burning many calories lately."
Dream higher.
See, that's what I'm saying. He's a legend of the interview.
I like him so much more than Kirby. It's not even close. So definitely rooting for Ole Miss. I don't know. This just one screams points to me. What do y'all think?
Not to be contrarian to you, I love Lane Kiffin. I don't really love Ole Miss that much.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
I think they've still left a sour taste in my mouth from the Peach Bowl a few years ago.
Yeah, but that we should have expected that.
That's true. That's very true. In retrospect, should have seen it coming. I don't know. I didn't like Jackson Dart. I still don't really like Jackson Dart, even though he's got a fun thing going on the Giants right now with Scatabo.
Yeah, that is weird.
Anyway, no, and I don't know if that last week was an outlier in being like, you know, the classic argument, like, oh, we're saving all our good stuff for next week against the elite team, or if it's like, oh, we have a lot of cracks and this team coming in at the right time and is showing them to everybody else. So I would have to probably go with Georgia. Is it still at 7.5 though? That's the big question.
It is.
I hate that's just a gross number to look at. To have to give away that half a point pretty much.
Yeah.
But I could see Georgia slowing them down quite a bit. I could see Georgia also maybe not scoring as much as they're used to. I may kind of lean towards the under, shockingly. 54.5 is oddly, usually not that scary of a number. I think it's a little tough to get to in this game. Chris, you are laughing hysterically whatever you're reading on your phone.
I was trying to find, since you brought up Scatabo, I've been trying to find this video I saw today, and it was this girl just describing him in like all like they were just describing how like crazy he is, essentially, with his, you know, seemingly interest in acquiring CTE. And this one girl was just like, he behaves like he was raised by a pack of wild pit bulls. He was like a human boy was raised by pit bulls.
He's basically if Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys grew up and started playing football.
Yeah.
They're playing quite well. They got the right pick late in the draft. He's showing out right now, so good for them.
Yeah, I think going back to this game, I think the trenches will determine the game, and I just trust Georgia a little more. Their run game and even their defensive line too. Mm-hmm. I don't want to touch that spread at all, though.
That's fair.
So I don't know.
Maybe we just
and then a shocking line to me: Vanderbilt -2.5.
You want to guess
LSU?
You want to guess how many years? Let's do all right. Quick little trivia: how many years it's been since Vanderbilt has been favored over LSU?
I think I saw this like 1928 or something. Sheesh. Or like 20s.
77 years, yeah.
Oh wow, was that the right year?
No.
Oh.
Would be like
I closed out of the tab. I'm sorry.
Still insane.
It is yeah, it's. I don't know if I believe it.
I mean, if it's a fact, you have to believe it. But is the stat you're referencing? Is it they haven't been favored against LSU or favored in a home game against LSU? Okay, I kind of believe that. I mean, LSU's always been the better team.
Sorry, I meant I don't believe that they should be favored this year.
Oh no, I'm fully on board with it. Yeah, I'm stunned that they are that they are the favorite, that they're giving 2.5 points. But it's also like this is the line that jumped out to me. That's so wild that clearly somebody knows something and something's afoot here. So either LSU is going to fall flat or Vandy's going to step up and absolutely dominate. But LSU just came off a big win against South Carolina, who has a very mobile, gunslinging quarterback in Lenora Sellers. So that he's just Pavia light, right? So if LSU could take care of him, keep him to 10 points, I see them doing the same thing for Vandy.
Man, they were just a wagon back in 1948. This 5-game stretch, Vanderbilt outscored its opponents 220-7.
Sheesh. Sounds like Ferris State.
This is they're wheeling
Mr. Ferris and Mr. Vanderbilt probably knew each other.
This is Vanderbilt's.
Probably.
This is the first game they've been favored against an SEC opponent since 2018. That's shocking.
That's
And
shocking.
it was probably like a Kentucky game or like a
It was a Tennessee, apparently.
interesting. That's very surprising. Hey, I mean, more power to him. I like a good Vanderbilt. I still like kind of the Diego Pavia hype train, even though it's kind of taken some bumps and bruises along the way. He's the epitome of college football. He is the guy that you like watching on your screen, just dart around the field, plays unscripted, just makes his own plays up, and ends up beating some big name teams along the way. So he is the epitome of it. I just don't really see how the numbers work out that way, but I would love to be delightfully surprised.
Do we know the score of the South Carolina game last weekend?
I think it was just 20-10 or LSU beat South Carolina 20-10.
It's kind of what I was thinking, like both teams to score 20 no instead of yes on the other games.
Ooh.
Like
Okay.
I kind of, because I can't read a side. Like Vandy could come out and Pavia could just go off for like, let's say 28 points, 30 points, but I don't know. I don't see it being like a high scoring game.
No, that's fair. I don't know. I don't like hitting that no button though. I only like the yes side.
I'm more of a yes guy.
more of an over guy.
All right, well we got to do more picks.
I was going to say, we had listeners asking for a pod last year. We need to
Well, should
deliver
we let them know?
something.
Pod. James Franklin to be fired. Yes. I say 2020 for both
Yep.
Ole Miss, Georgia, or no, not that one. The USC, Notre Dame, and Tennessee,
Yep.
Alabama.
What about Georgia Tech Duke?
That game's interesting, but
It's
like
a toss-up. It's Georgia Tech's an underdog by 1.5 points.
And they're number 12 in the country. Are they still undefeated?
Yeah.
That is
It's obviously a good sign
stunning.
in favor of Duke. Shout out Manny Diaz.
And what's the total on that? 61?
61. That
Yeah,
means both
so-
teams score 20 is probably like minus 500.
Yeah, it's got to be a lock.
We're just doing like all 20s.
Let's do that.
I think
That's
that's
our
the
new
move,
thing.
dude.
That's our
I
new
felt
thing.
so good seeing both teams get to it in the Oregon game.
We'll look that up if you don't mind, Sam.
Yeah.
You know what game?
And then the one thing, just
No, you
while
go.
he does that as a little
Minus
precursor-
457.
Wow, we're degenerates.
25
How did you know that?
is even money. But I don't like that.
I hate
I
that.
don't like
number.
it as much,
Bothers me, yeah. What were you going to say, Chris?
Well, I want to talk about another game, but
I
What's
have
your other
one
game?
more. Oh, yeah, go for it.
Holy War.
Holy War. We already have an arrest for threatening to murder.
Utah at BYU. The Battle of Utah. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 3.5 point favorites. Utah is 49.5 total. What do you guys think about that one? I want to watch that one if possible.
I'm back on the Utah hype train after seeing what they did. It was a backup quarterback with Arizona State, so
I
not
like Utah.
too
Yeah.
much of a domination, but they crushed them, and they're back to putting up points and doing it in style. So I really like Utah in that game.
I concur.
Okay. What is 3.5? Yeah. I mean,
We could just do money line.
Yeah,
BYU hasn't played anybody.
They struggled slightly against WVU a couple weeks ago. That's the last time I watched them. The score just doesn't look like it because they had some garbage points at the end.
Speaking of garbage points, I thought of a great stat over the weekend, and unfortunately, it came from our fallen hero Drew Aller. Which again, thoughts and prayers. Hopefully, he has a great recovery and battles back and gets drafted top 5. Highly unlikely, but he'll get drafted and have a career in the NFL. But he had a disgusting stat line at halftime. I think he had 35 yards or something. And then in the third quarter, or maybe it was the early fourth, when the long pass to Devontae Ross, where he ran and ran and ran for 70 yards, somehow didn't score. Either way, I came up with it's YIYTATORBP.
What?
It's yards if you take away that one random big play. And I feel like that needs to
Did
be
you
applied.
write that down?
Of course I wrote it down. How do you think I remembered it?
I was
That needs
impressed.
to be applied to most every football game, especially at the college level. Because the number of times you see just an awful QB have
Can
he'll
you read
finish
those
with,
letters
one
off?
YIYTATORBP.
Yeah. Yaitat Orb.
Yitatorb.
I mean,
yards if you
I
take
feel
away
like
that
there's
one
a
random big play.
I feel like
Because
there's
again,
a
it happens
stat.
every single game, and it's always like a guy finishes. You're like, oh, he threw for like 190, kind of a light game, but he's usually pretty good. It's like, no, he threw for 42 yards.
Right.
He had
Yaitat
one massive play. Yeah.
I think that's also called air yards.
Oh, that already exists. No, that's not air yards. I know
That's
what
not
it
air
is.
yards. I
Isn't
think
that the
air
same
yards
thing?
is.
No, I'm saying like
Yeah, air
no,
yards is like
how far it goes in the air. Duh. Mine is
Right.
like a guy is so bad all game long. He has like 50 total yards, but in some random time early in the second quarter, he happened to get like an 80-yard completion because his wide receiver just went nuts. It's like he shouldn't get all the credit in the world for that. And then conversely, if you're playing, if it's like one of those classic, Baylor TCU games, also a good matchup coming up, where both quarterbacks are throwing like 600 yards back and forth, then you should probably do the reverse of that and be like,
what's the total on that one?
And air yards count incompletions too. It's essentially like how far they throw the ball downfield.
Matt McGloin's air yards.
Excessive, yes. Because like Yak, if you dink it off and it runs for 20 or 100 yards, like the play in Northwestern, that's low air yards.
I think it all started because I saw it was that big play to Ross, but then so many times I hate and I saw this I was watching Red Zone NFL the next day, and I was like, it was still bothering me. I hate get the hike and then not even look at anybody else, just throw your halfback behind the line of scrimmage. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Somebody else is down there. Somebody else is doing their job. Like,
just go
it's a
deep.
Gross play, and it never works. It always gets
put Utah on our tab.
I have that.
All that being said, Utah.
I was just confirming if Sam Levitt is playing this weekend because they are hosting Texas Tech as a 7.5 point underdog or spread.
I feel like it was as high as like 12, so it's come back down.
I think that's since Levitt, they just announced that he probably is playing.
Okay.
Because if it was Jeff Sims again, man.
Why don't you just give up?
I'm fine with the number coming back down. I really like Texas Tech. I think they're my pick to win it all.
Yeah, so 7.5. We could just buy it down to 6.5. Just win by a touchdown.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I like Texas Tech a lot. I like them to win this game. I like them to keep winning. They just seem like a unstoppable force right now. They have no cracks yet.
No cracks. Cool. We're at plus 452.
I like that. We're back in business.
Yep. And then one last thing I wanted to point out, because I'm on the under train right now. Texas A&M playing at Arkansas. Arkansas has been getting a ton of overs because they've been, even though they've been losing, they've been putting up, high 20s, low 30s. Mm-hmm. I think A&M can kind of put a squash on that for them. I don't see Arkansas battling them to the point of like getting down to like a 35-30 kind of game. I think it's going to be like A&M 28, Arkansas 17. So I'm taking far under in this one. It's 61.5.
I like that too, actually.
Yeah, I would agree.
We could buy up a little bit, go up to like 63.5 if you want some bonus coverage, but I don't see it happening at all.
Let's see. Let's check. Yeah, it's 61.5 right now. I mean, isn't A&M's defense like really good?
I was just looking at that.
Here's the thing: I don't think they're like dominant good, but I think they're like solid foundation, and they can slow down Arkansas. I have all the faith in the world for that.
Like we can just do team total under 28.5 for Arkansas.
Well, the only thing that kind of scares me is they kind of do play to the pace of their opponent. I mean, like Notre Dame, it was 41-40.
Right.
Auburn 16-10. Mississippi State, they allowed 9. So but I still like it. It's going to be.
To that point, though, we could just do
Wait, what is the number on the under 28.5?
minus 150.
That's not bad at all. I mean, that's
what was that?
Pretty high.
Half what?
For Arkansas team total.
That's very high for what I was expecting.
And what's the spread on the whole game?
I had 6.5, 7.5.
I like that.
Do you like the under or the team total under?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. Game. Do we think a team?
Or
another interesting one.
Right now.
Another interesting one. We did this like back in week 2 or 3. Will either team score 40? It's the same odds as that under team total.
For A&M Arkansas?
Yeah, for like, will a team score 40?
Neither team scores 40 either.
I like that. Put that in.
All right.
That they don't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Plus 744.
All right, read it off for the people one last time.
That's a pod.
Third Saturday in October, both teams to score 20, Tennessee, Alabama. USC, Notre Dame, both teams to score 20. Utah moneyline. Texas Tech minus 6.5. And then A&M, Arkansas, any team to score 40, no.
Love it. Book it. We're back, baby.
Oh, yeah. Sign me up.
Cool. Well, back to it, gents. Now we can kind of just enjoy college football. I think I'm at the point where
we expect to lose now.
Yeah. So this will be the best weekend of them all, and especially Saturday because we live for them.
Hell yeah. Can say it better myself.
See you, boys.
Till next week, keep living for those Saturdays.